Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So, what are we doing today? We are working on Project Tactics yet again. I'm gonna turn my music down a little bit so I can hear myself think. You may be wondering, man, Notepad, this was really goddamn late. That is because I am, well, I've become a vampire, unfortunately. So, I am in the magical quest of trying to fix that. So, what we are working on is getting the, as you can see, our handy dandy flowcharts done. I've had no success with other programs, so I've just decided to do this method. I think this one's going to work just fine. I could try to do it differently here if I were to do something like that. But none of these end up looking correctish. I guess I could see how it looks. So I'm going to have to delete all of these. I'm using Zen flowchart in case anyone's wondering. Make that a little bit bigger. Can I actually? No. 72 is the largest the font gets. So if we do one up there, one down here, up, side, and we'll just off to the side, right there, you make it even, and that means we can do same thing down here, line it up, and something's already broken. Awesome. There we go. Nope. There we go. Everything's equal, and from here we have to make one go down, and we'll make one go to the side, and then down to the side. And here, same thing. But we're going to go up, up, side. There we go. Melissa, which goes into Janetti's. Infantry, pikemen, halberdiers. Let me see if I spelled that right. Halberdier. Ah, it's ER. That's what messes me up. Halberdier. Wish I could change the font on this. Just to make everything match nicely, but eh. So, halberdier, champion, and if we go here, sergeant at arms, Control C. Sergeant at arms, which leads into the warden, as well as the great shields. As well as the great shield. And the Genetti leads into the knight errant, which leads into the cataphract, as well as, oh god, what did I end up calling you? A praetorian. And you went into the lancer, which the lancer turned into the hussar, as well as the colossi. There we are. So let's export this as a PNG. Call this Night Big One. Okay, just making sure everything works. Okay, we're gonna have to do it the janky way. If you haven't noticed, I only have one actual monitor, so I've been doing this all. Why are you like that? Great shield. Great shield. But otherwise, let's just take a double check to make everything. Extend it out a little bit. I think this looks pretty nice. Internet Lancer's Arc. Only really the Great Shield ended up a little bit wonky. So, let's just delete all these old copies. I didn't mean to click you. Why are you here? Lenovo, please. Ah, perfect. Everything looks exactly the way it's supposed to be. And let's reorganize it. So, what has happened since the last stream? Well, I posted Project Tactics around a little bit. I just wanted to get the general gist of, hey, does everything work as planned? And overall, the opinions of it were fair. People enjoyed it. And let me just put you in the middle. And let me see the major changes that occurred. There were just a lot of little confirmation ones, such as up here, this gentleman right here, Kyle King, did a lot of double checking on me. I double checked a lot of things and just clarified some parts. There were some odd, to say the least, moments in there. I also changed the way checks are worded. There are OCs versus SCs. OCs is opposed check, SC is single check. Fairly obvious once you actually hear it, but you don't think about these things when you're just writing, when you're doing your kind of your first draft, just to make sure everything looks the way it should. And let's go down here. Yep, everything looks just as the way I would like it. And now we go down here, and now we get to do the Warlord's Troop. So let's go back to my documents. This was the original one. I don't really need this one anymore. Move that to trash. Oh, hello, clown noise. Nope. 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 Look at you later. Nice and quiet day tonight. The stream's gonna be fairly long. Like real long. Because I'm just gonna power through as much as I can do tonight. So, we're just going to have to... You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something we've never done before. You'll all get to see how I actually view my screen 95% of the time. Window capture. There we go. There we go. This is how I usually run my desktop, how it usually looks. I usually have just two things open at all times. Some people may say that's confusing, but I just say it's a lot easier for me to see things. Gladiator, 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 and irregulars. Aspirant. Aspirants go into hero and villain, as well as berserker. Guerrilla. Skirmisher. Bear killer. Sacred warrior. Warrior, just so I can avoid. In case you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to double check to make sure I'm getting the correct. Yeah, that was renamed Skirmish Cavalry. Horse Archers. And those are from the Skirmishers, so. Oh, there we go. Raider. And then we have the Revolutionary. Oof, Lutionary. Does it all fit in one? Oh gosh, you're too big. It sucks. That really sucks. Mercenary. I don't think anyone will probably notice if I just shrink. Extend that out just a smidge. Don't worry. We play things fast and loose here. Don't worry about that. So everything should be accounted for here. Let's export as. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to rename this to Warlord Big. Export as PNG. And we're going to call it Warlord Big. And we're going to make a copy. I only have 2 documents. I only have 2 documents thing, but okay, we're going to make it work. Don't worry. I am a professional. And I somewhat know what I'm doing. I don't at all. I'm winging it. So we're going to call this the Neophyte. Combat Thaumaturge. And then we have the Scholar down below. Spell Fencer. Burst Caster. You didn't get fixed. So what I did actually the other night was I went through and tried to make everything what is tier 3, and put everything else where it should as tier 4s. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Please stop doing that. Slap you right there. Explosion, battle magics, control shift 8, put you... Perfect. Illusionary Arcanist. Illusionary. Shielding Arcanist. Blast Magician. Explosion Wizard. Red Mage. Mage Knight. Magicantus Mage Knight. And then we have the Shielding Mage. Shielding Sorcerer. And then Illusionary Mage. Illusionary Sorcerer. And export as PNG. Magus Big. So let's get these actually in. Not the bishop. Magus Big, we'll put copy right there. Make that big as we can. Boom. Oh, wait. Neophyte. Magus Big. We don't want that. I'll put you in. It's Neophyte only. You're trolling me at this point. Magus Big. Let's take a look to make sure that it's saved properly. Not perfect. There we go. There you go. Neophyte with 1H. We'll blow you up. And there we go. And we'll put the Warlord Big in there as well. Night troops. Now you're just kind of seeing what I mean by I just wanted these to tie everything together real nice. Acolyte. So hey. Monk. I see it. It's going to drive me absolutely up the wall until I fix it. There we go. Missionary. Parista. Holy soldier. Flagellants. White mage. Lector. Apostle. Guru. Redeemed. And broken one. War priest. Crusader. And export as PNG. Bishop big. And then we have the rogue. Gangster. Sometimes you just gotta be a real gangstar. Footpad. Thug. Level 99 boss, I know what you're talking about. Swashbuckler. Ooh, that's another one of those bigger ones. Let's extend you out this way. Bandit. Bandit. Bandit background. Highwayman. I'm gonna put Highwayman over here, so what I can do is there we go. There we go. See? Symmetry. I know what I'm doing, I think. Bandits. Moss Trooper. All the way in. There we go. All the way out. Desperado. Marauder. UDR. Brigand. Protagonist. Mouse. Mouse. There we go. And Brute. Distro. Cavalier. And export as PNG. Knave big. That leads us to our final one, which is Rangers. And then Poacher. Archer. Scoots. Arbalest. Shrink you down in size. Pavician. Naturalist. Wild Walker. There we go, Wild Walker. Way Stalker. Way Watcher. It's a little bit tight. I'm going to extend that just a smidge. Perfect. And then we have Moon Druid. And then the Sun Druid. And Quarrelers. If I remember correctly, it goes Siege Archer then. Because if you are Pavician, if you're the Arbalest, yeah, Arbalest goes into Sniper, Siege Archer. There we go. And that means Pavician goes into Cossack. Alright, Explorers PNG. Ranger Big. And... oh god, didn't mean to do that. No, no, no. Post Ranger Big. God, I love it when a flowchart comes together. Sorry I'm not talking too much. I'm just kind of focused in on making this line up properly. It's not like anyone's in the chat, but hey, who cares? Am I right? I'm right, of course I am, because I'm the only one here. I'm just talking to myself blindly. Very tired and intoxicated. Some days I wonder why I even do this. Any of this, really. All seems so delightfully pointless. I still find enjoyment out of it. Why is that? I don't think we'll ever find out, will we? Why people enjoy things that don't mean anything. Does it mean something to them? Maybe. Mean something to other people? Maybe. Maybe that's just the alcohol talking. Maybe it's just the alcohol. Ranger, are you centered? Yes, you are centered. Okay, everyone's centered. And that means everyone's actually done. Looks really nice. So, I'm still going to keep the Zen flowchart open because my other goal, what we're going to do tonight. Hope y'all didn't think it was just going to be flowcharts, because guess what? There's going to be more flowcharts. Like, there's just going to be more flowcharts. Because guess what do we need? Put the notepad in. I kind of need to stretch a little bit. Ugh. Okay. I've actually been working on additional weapons, so if we go shoot 5. That's what I mean by I've been working on extra weapons. So effectively I've broken it down to martial and basic weapons are really simple. Basic weapons as well as our more martial weapons, as you see, damage is kind of greater across the board. Put that as a 4. Put that as a 2. Put that as a 2. Actually, stagger 1, stagger 2. Stagger 1. Stagger 2. Stagger 1. Stagger 1. And rapier 1, but you can use your dexterity for it. Let's see, what else am I looking for? So overall, pole axes are actually kind of an interesting weapon. Because if you look at here, this is what a pole axe effectively is. It's kind of like a longer axe spear thing, so I kind of needed it to have the best of both worlds. So I let it have both the best of both worlds. You know, it has the pierce, so it goes through the enemy armor and any damage resistance they have. In addition to, it goes against any It also has cavalry killer, which is a very important thing about doing extra damage to if a squad has cavalry in it. Which, again, cavalry, how I want to do cavalry is effectively if you have a cavalry unit, by default you're going to move +1 extra units a turn. So the base movement calculation is your dexterity +1. So if you have 0 dexterity, you have 0 or less dexterity, you are effectively going to be moving minimum 1 unit. Just to help you maneuver around and actually get to where point A to point B is. On the other hand, if you are... Oh, gosh. Oh, killing you. However, on the other hand, if you as a character have cavalry, that +1 becomes a +2, +3, +4, +5, +6, depending on how many cavalry units you have in your squad. So you're pretty much getting free movement. So it's useful for really heavily armored troopers or people without getting that big dex in, is that you're getting those free movement in. However, the cost of cavalry is one, you lose a lot of your you lose a lot of your bonuses the second you start engaging in more strict combat. Your goal more is to hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. That's kind of your point as cavalry. You have to deal with anti-cavalry weapons, which is just adding damage to your squad, effectively. So, people with pikes and spears and halberds and stuff are going to be able to rip through your cavalry really fast in addition to your troops. So unless you have some kind of more armored troops to back them up, they're going to get just tore apart. And finally, the big thing with cavalry is they can't pass through anything higher than rough terrain, which is not very good for them, because that does knock out sections of the map that, again, some characters benefit from being in and some don't. So your goal with cavalry is you're kind of the shock, you're the vanguard group. You're a very mobile force that allows you to maneuver around, but you place more restrictions on yourself to worry about. That's why things like the pole axe are kind of scary when you say, okay, we know that this unit over here has 2-3 pole axes, and they're going to be able to rip through my cavalry. I can't fight them. Rangers, can you please get me some help here? Archers, lighten them up. Light them up. Make sure they're injured and not, working with things. Or, hey, fight, my other team, my other fighter team. I need you to rush in there and, damage them or hold them up, or so we can get a, outnumbered penalty on them, so they're not doing as much damage. So they can't do that damage to us. So that's kind of your priority with the. Give me a second. Oh, sorry. I don't know why I'm yawning all of a sudden. I wasn't tired 10 minutes ago, but that's kind of your goal, almost, is to really manipulate the battlefield in your advantage. Because, again, cavalry can win you the day, it can also lose you the day, depending on whether or not you use it well. So that's kind of my expose on cavalry. So let's take a look. We have Warhammer, Stagger, Cavalry Killer, Pierce. Okay. So these are martial weapons you can arm your troops with. Well, these are your, obviously non-martial. These are your, I am a peasant. This is what I am armed with. Like, why don't I arm everyone with short swords? Because, again, short swords aren't very, they do 2 damage. They don't have anything else. That's kind of your benefit. So, what I'm also going to do is do basic ranged weapon. Actually, martial ranged weapons. Because should be martial melee weapons. And that does mean if we post it right over here, basic ranged weapons, basic melee weapons. I'm going to zoom out to 100% just so I can see things better. Ooh. So let me just do a double check just to make sure. We go to ranged weapons. Our basic range weapons, we're going to have, obviously, the short bow, sling staff. Let's actually Google what the sling staff looks like. You got the sling, you got the sling staff. And let me see, so let's see. Peasants. Ranged weapons. I want peasant range weapons, otherwise known as the AK-47. What the hell? Come on. Just a lot of rifles. Looks like just bows are going to be our main thing. Good old bows. Press F for Britannia. That's all I gotta say to that. I've learned that the peasants often use AK-47s as their weapon of choice, so I think I'm gonna keep with this. You may be saying, but the English longbow, notepad add-on? But the English longbow. Yeah, I want to balance it out at least a little bit. Let's see. Crossbow, heavy, crossbow, heavy. Crossbow, heavy. Crossbow, light. Thrown. And the longbow is going to be a +3. Actually, it's going to have to be a 3. Crossbow is going to be 2. Heavy crossbow 3. Light crossbow 1. Short bow is going to be 1. Sling is going to be 1. Actually, sling is going to be 0. But that's not historically accurate. Yeah, they get a lot more ammo. That's their thing. And sling staff. And sling staff I'm going to make probably damage 0 as well, but they're going to have higher range. That's going to be the tags, and then range. Short bow has a range of 4, sling has a range of 3, sling staff has a range of 4. And ammo pool 10. Ammo pool 12, ammo pool 6, two-handed. We would actually want to call it two-handed. No, 0. You get a little bit more shots, you get a little bit more range. Now we move you here, and we're going to call this section range. Longbow has 6, crossbows have 4, 5, 3, and then 1. Damage most likely going to do 1. Tags, thrown, and actually it's going to be ammo pool X. Thrown, ammo pool 6, pierce 1, ammo pool 5, reload 2, pierce 2, two-handed, and ammo pool 5, reload 1, pierce 1. Yeah. Cavalry killer deed. Halberd versus poleaxe. Okay, that's more of a point to it. So what I'll do is give Halberd the D10 and great, but it doesn't get the, it only gets pierce 1. Poleaxe gets 1 extra. Halberd 3. Yeah, they'll both have the same one. Pikes aren't as great. And then if we do, actually, let's do a long axe, great, pierce 2, stagger 1. There we go. Perfectos. And we're going to do data. We're going to create a filter. Sort everything A to Z. Data, turn off filter, basic melee. Data, create a filter. A to B. B, data, turn off the filter. Marshal, data, create a filter. A to Z. Data, turn off filter, and finally, data, create a filter. Don't really need to do this. Create a filter just to make sure. All right, perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make wands. Wand weapons. And how do I want to word this? Fire one. Actually, what are the elements that we're working with? Because pretty much there's going to be one for each element. Yeah. So this is going to be simple wand weapons. Fire, ice wand, wind wand, earth wand, thunder wand, water wand, and just an energy wand. 1, 0. And range, all of these are going to be 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Tags, elemental. There we go. All of these have an element tied to it, but except the last one. And what we're going to do with these, post it right here, and we're going to do advanced wand weapons. Now this is where we get to cook with fire, sort of. So what we get to do really is put the word advanced in front of a lot of these. That's kind of a cop-out, Notepad add-on. Yes, it is. It is, in fact, a cop-out. Actually, advanced ice wand. Advanced wind wand. And all of these are going to do 1 damage. The range is going to increase by 1. Advanced energy wand. Going to do 2 damage. Have its range increased to 4 as well. And then we're going to have a dual wand. I'm going to have a thunder ice wand. Fire earth wand. Actually, shock ice. Shock ice wand, molten wand. Oh, wind and water. What would? Alright, tsunami wand. Light wand. Light wand. Darkness wand. What are some other cheeky? What are some other bizarre ones that I can work with? Oh yeah, mud wand, water and earth, flame spire wand, a frozen wand. Because actually no, that's a terrible idea. Oh yeah, snow wand. Yeah, that works. Ice and earth. Ice and earth. What would be a good ice and earth thing? Inspiration juice is needed. Frozen world wand. Lightning wand, which is going to be fire and thunder. Wind and thunder. Do I have wind and thunder wand? No. Wind. Ooh, that sounds like a more of a. What would be a fire and thunder? Actually. Electric wand. Yeah, so actually let's they do 0 bonus damage, all of these, except the light wand and the darkness wand. They do 1, they all have reduced range. And elemental 2. Actually, elemental, thunder, elemental ice, elemental fire, elemental elemental earth, elemental water, elemental wind, light wand, elemental, a mud wand, elemental water, elemental earth, elemental fire, elemental wind, elemental ice, elemental water, elemental ice, elemental earth, elemental thunder, elemental wind, elemental thunder, elemental fire. There's probably like a dozen other variations I'm completely missing, but actually no, the units are all supposed to be zeros. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Wands aren't supposed to be like these super like, aha, I have a wand, I'm immediately going to kill you and all your family. No, like they're the benefit of having a wand is that the fact that you have now elemental attacks, and those can be very good because again, they deal double damage to some enemies if they are weak against them. But if you don't know what you're going up against, just advanced energy wands are your best bet. Okay, so if we scroll all the way down past all our brand new flowcharts. Flowcharts. And we're going to do basic melee weapons. And basic melee weapons, we're going to actually just kill you. Post this, post unlinked. And we're going to center everything. Make everything normal text. Table properties. Line center, middle, 0.75, make it black. Good old paint it black, and in case you're wondering, hey, why don't you just put the two charts next to each other? I don't know how. Unless doing it the real jank way, and that's not quite what I'm looking for. That's not quite my my intention with this section. So apologies, I can't make this look really nice and pretty, but Notepad's a dum-dum. Doesn't know how to do that. Let's do that. Select everything. Table properties. Paint it black. Center, middle. Okay. Now we get to the fun part where it's called screwing around with the sizing. And hitting this button. Welcome to the hardest part of Google Docs, and that is getting this to play nicely with you. I've been debating on switching over almost wholesale over to Publisher, but it makes it harder to share things if I were to do that. So it's kind of do I want to continue sharing these a little bit more easy and having people be able to comment on them a lot more actively, or do I want to make it so that perfect. Actually, halberd, little bit big. There we go. There we go. So, I don't quite know how I want to do that. I'll think of something. I usually do. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Oh, no. There we go. There we go. Ah, yeah. Yuck. Now, if I really wanted to be a real... Let's be a real hero. I'm going to copy-paste you. Post there. Make you heading 3. And we're going to call this the basic ranged weapons. Ranged weapons. And we're going to have to insert row to the right. I'm going to call this range. Delete. And gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And that means what we can do with all these parts and make them go away because we don't need these parts. Normal text. Center everything. Select everything. Bada bing, bada boom. Right click. Table properties. Black border. Vertical alignment. Middle. Awesome. That's what we like to see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing down here, except I'm going to move right over here. Select all of these, and hit paste. Oh wow, everything looks exactly the way it's supposed to. Wow, what a shock. I said after things don't look correct. Insert row below, and Control B. Actually, what I should do is insert a row below. Simple thrown, 0 damage, range 1, ammo pool X. Javelins. Damaged 2. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. So what I'm going to have to do is add a row up top. Post and delete row. Okay, so probably don't need you right now, Notepad. Goodbye, my good friend. Let's see, what am I looking for? We're looking for table of properties, black, middle alignment. Perfect. During the trooper contribute their attributes to contribute their attributes for the rounds list. Why did you do that? That's not right. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do is select you, go all the way down. Does not contribute. They'll contribute their attributes for the round. Yeah. Dealing extra damage to the squad. Elemental. The weapon has a element associated with it. Wand weapons. Wands. Nope. Select you. Hit that. Select all but the last row. Hit backspace. Select the last row. Hit backspace. Then pop. And then copy it in. Why that's a weird interaction with how things go, your guess is as good as mine, but I did that wrong. Select everything. Hit you. Everything goes in the middle. I select everything. And put you on a separate page. Fire. Ice. Wind. Earth. Thunder. Thunder. Water. I just realized this isn't in alphabetical order either. Elemental earth. Now, you may be saying you don't really need to do this, but I do, in case people get like, well, technically it's not that, or hey, it technically isn't that. I do it later, so I have to do it now. Because again, 95% of these games, it's all about that consistency. Insert row below, row below, row below, row below, row below, row your boat gently downstream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Is it a dream? There we go. Nice. Oh god, I forgot to add elemental light, earth, fire, ice. Pretty much the idea behind the energy one is that it's kind of just condensed power, this condensed energy. It's not really anything in particular. It's okay. All right. Got the wands, got the ranged weapons, got the melee weapons, got the trooper equipment. Now let's scroll down a little bit more and see the fact that this is all completely awful and I hate it, so we gotta fix it. Table properties, black, middle. There we go. Oh, yeah. I'll make myself dinner finally. I didn't really actually make myself dinner because I knew things like this was going to happen. Let's see. Boucles. Okay. Alright. Okie dokie then. So we've gotten through all of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll all the way up, back up. We're going to make sure everything looks right. Again, we got melee weapon, wand weapons, and we don't have armor listed for some reason. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. So armor and shields. I'm not really going to go into like an in-depth explanation of these. They're pretty self-evident of what they do. They give bonus health. Oh, a cavalry section. I should add a cavalry section, shouldn't I? Yep. Alright, you know what? It's time where I merge everything back together. Oh wow, that's awful. Yeah, let's make you go away. Goodbye, window capture 3. You served your purpose. Now we just have the one true capture. So we're gonna write the right cavalry section. Cavalry. Yeah, cavalry. Compared to other pieces. equipment. Cavalry is fairly unique. I'm actually going to bump the size up on this because this is kind of small. Let's bump it to 26. There we go. Compared to other pieces of equipment, cavalry is fairly unique. For every trooper that is mounted on a cavalry beast, the squad in total receives a +1 to their base movement. However, the squad can no longer move on to dangerous, hazardous, or deadly terrain without suffering double the consequences. Because again, you have a cavalry officer on it. Cavalry person, I should say. When each cavalry beast receives a set of bonuses determined by what kind of beast they are. Certain ones are more valuable than others, but more valuable than others in certain situations. And we're going to have to break it down. So let's pay Control C and Control V. Hello, cavalry. And we're going to go here, and we want to do data, turn off filter. We're going to select all of you. We're going to put you right over here. And cavalry beast, bonus damage during charge, penalty to being stuck in combat. Bonuses. Let's see. Oh yeah, unique features. So, effectively, I'm going to do shock cavalry. Actually, shock beast, bonus damage during charge, 3, penalty to being stuck in combat, -3, unique. Unique features, none. Actually, bonus movement, 0. Endurance beast, bonus damage during charge, 2, penalty to being stuck in combat, 2, but bonus movement, 1. So pretty much you get the blue even farther with an endurance beast. Aggressive beast, bonus damage there. Penalty, bonus, and bonus movement, -1. However, so you don't get your bonus for having like a really aggressive beast, but the idea is that you can get stuck into combat a lot easier. So that's kind of, it evens itself out a little bit. Mobility beast, bonus damage during charge, 0, penalty to being stuck in combat, -2, bonus movement, 2, Mobility beasts are pretty much all about being fast and not really actually being stuck in combat. And that's people like your apostles and your rangers and things like that. Those are the people you want on mobility beasts. They're the ones who are going to go fast. They're going to be able to maneuver things, but they're not really supposed to take damage. Because again, they get no bonuses for it, and they only get penalties for being, you only get penalties for being stuck in combat with them, but actually a tank beast, bonus damage, 0 damage, but you get a small bonus for being in combat with them, but they have a -1 move. Yeah. Yeah, tank beast is effectively like a Kodo from WoW, just kind of like this big old beast of burden that's going to slap itself on there. I mean, it's like, I'm not going to move. I am not going to question what's going on. I'm just going to make sure that I'm here and here to stay. So we're going to put you right here. Focus everything in the middle, and we're going to spread you out just a smidge. Penalty for being stuck in combat. Bonus story. Table properties, middle, center, black. And black. Alright, that's what we like to see, and just for the sake of completeness, I'm going to shrink everything I can. Perfect. Alright, so here we go. We've got everything here for all our soldiers. We've gotten that done today. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit here. We're going to update everything to make sure everything is working correctly. Yippee-ki-yay, we've done it. Everything is working the way it should. So let's move on to our next one, monsters. So these are our devilish monsters. Oh, that reminds me. We're going to actually change some names. So, micro combat skirmishing, skirmishing and duels, captains fighting. Warfare and warfare and war bands. Warfare and conflict. What do I actually call the full section of this? This combat, okay, not conflict. So, yeah. Every rank. Every rank account in advance. This is in a class. They are allowed to increase one of their attributes by 1. Oh, nope. Computer, please. It's not liking the fact I clicked this. Yeah. We'll close Zen flow chart. We'll close the long axe. Allowed. I think just because this is such a meaty file, shrink it down a little bit. So effectively you get 12 rank up. So at max, at cap, effectively, a captain is going to have 22 in in a single attribute. You know, not 22 in a single attribute. I mean, they're going to have 22 attributes kind of spread among all of their attributes. And actually, if we do a little bit of math, there's attunement, dexterity, toughness, strength, and attunement. Attunement, dexterity, strength, toughness, tactics. Yeah, 5. So, since there's 5 attributes, roughly speaking, you can have about four in everything if you really wanted to. However, most likely you'll have probably captains in the 6s, 7s on their 2 main attributes, and the rest will be kind of lower. But again, that's the purpose of being in a group. You can make up for each other's faults, allowing the squad in total to be a lot stronger. And kind of by the time you hit these, by the time you kind of hit these endpoints in your tree, you kind of have what your squad's going to be looking like for the rest of the game. You kind of have the good idea of like, hey, you know, I'm going to have a really offensive squad, or hey, I'm going to have a really defensive squad. I don't want my guys to die at all. Or hey, my guys, fuck them. Let's just throw them to the meat grinder and hope for the best. You know, that's kind of there on purpose. So let's see. We scroll all the way down. Wand weapons. Enemies. We're gonna have to work on monsters. Hello, helicopter. Here. Do you like that sound? That is what happens when you live next to a hospital. You get life flights come in. I used to count them, actually. And the highest count I had was 20 in one day. That was spooky. They're not as much, you know, funnily enough, I don't hear them as much these days. I usually only see maybe 1 or 2, like 1 a day maybe. And I think they just take it out to fly it around for fun at this point. Like, but what do I want to do? Okay, so let's make you that. I'm actually going to have to shrink you down a little bit, just so you don't take up 95% of my screen. Enemies and monster, wibbly wobbly. Points where enemies will confront the captains and their band of loyals. Loyal troops be whether it's on cloak and dagger excesses, or it's on devilish, or it's on the field of glorious battle. Conflict is inevitable. An opposing character for skirmish size combat. An opposing character for skirmish size combat is built similarly to the characters, often with drastically reduced attributes. Attributes for weaker foes. Most of these characters have little in the way of tactics, but some may possess some tricks up their sleeves. Skirmish opponents. 2 skirmish opponents. So, and remember, never delete anything. Because what I can do is tier 1 foot, and if we apply the exact same formula we have been, we know at tier 1, at toughness 1, if I can move my handy dandy little sticky note here, we know you have 8 HP. You are going to wear light armor. You're going to wear light armor. You're going to have a basic hand weapon. And do you have a shield? Yes. And you're going to have a light shield. So if we combine all that together, so we're going to actually scroll up to our where are you? We're going to scroll up to just our armor here. We'll give them light armor. So that bumps their health up to 11. And a light shield. They're going to have 14 HP. Not actually that much HP, to be honest. Dealing with the fact that you're going to... actually, let's see. Militia fighters. Yeah, they have light armor, basic hand weapon. Light armor, light shield. And they have barely any. Actually, if we go all the way up, they don't get any bonus health. Haha. So they're going to only have light armor. So 1 damage resistance. -2 armor penalty. So actually -2 AP. They're going to have a light shield, which has 2 damage resistance and -2 arm AP. They're going to have a very simple weapon. What's a very simple weapon we can give them? We're going to give them a club. And it does 1d6 damage. It has, yeah, it does 1d6 plus strength damage. Yep, congratulations, militia fighter. Welcome to the unrepresented masses of soldiers that are going to oppose the characters. Yeah, not exactly the most threatening individuals in the world. But overall, we're going to have... I'm going to effectively have to convert all of these over, so infantry, plus 3 health. At that they have 11 HP. Each 11 HP. Light armor, 1 damage, resist, actually 1 DR, -2 AP. Light shield, 1 DR, -2 AP. They're actually going to have a sword. My no. We're really... sweared. Do I actually even have a sword? Well, I have a saber at least. I don't actually think I have a sword. Oh. Oh yeah, I know. It's 1d8. So they have a 1d8 plus 3 damage sword. 1d3 plus strength damage. Actually, should I just put the number 1d3 plus 3? damage, 1d6 plus 2 damage. We're just going to... Half of me wants to convert everything over, the other half of me doesn't. Or do I just do some key individuals from various... Do I be a real hero and convert everything over, or do I just... Or do I just say screw it and just do some essentials? You know what? I'm just going to do some essentials. I'm going to do a skirmisher cavalry. I'm just going to do some... I think that's 1d6 with just a basic axe, right? Yeah, no, it's 1d8. 1d8 plus 3 damage, pierce 1. But they don't have a shield, so they only have 1 DR, so they're actually not that... The skirmisher cavalry go down pretty fast, so, but we're also going to put in... let's put in a cat, let's put a knight errant in. Because he can wear medium armor. So he's going to have a max HP, since he has a toughness of 3. He's going to have 14 HP. And he's going to have medium armor. And medium armor is 2 DR, negative 3 AP. A medium shield, 3 DR, negative 3 AP. And he's also going to have a nice... He's going to have a weapon. He's going to actually... Now I can really mix it up and give him something kind of screwy, or I can just make it real simple. Now he's going to have a fairly typical... Nah, I'm gonna screw with him. I'm gonna put a flail on this man. 2d6 plus 4 damage. Stun 2. Yep, welcome to fighting a knight, otherwise known as get flailed on. And let's throw a warden in here as well. And since he has a toughness of 7, that means he has 26 HP. Now you may be saying, "Wow, Notepad, that's a lot of health for kind of a weaker tier enemy." And the thing is, like a warden isn't supposed to have be a super threatening enemy. And these are generic characters. These aren't supposed to be like the really super duper uber strong ones. These are guys that you encounter and oh no, what do we do against these guys? They're going to beat us up and steal our... they're going to steal our, horse. These guys aren't supposed to be, really all that threatening. Wardens can use great weapons, right? No, they can only use martial weapons. So, what we can use, we're going to give them a heavy shield. Heavy shield for DR, -4 AP. Wardens aren't going to pull off anything too exciting, but they're also going to have a big old... So, yeah, let's really mess with them. +3. Actually, no. 1d8 +3 damage, pierce 1. Yeah, but these guys ignore 8 damage like right off the bat. Like it's like nah. Welcome to armor days, boys. So now we're gonna get some just. We're gonna put in. Let's put the gladiator in just for fun. So since he has toughness of 2, he's going to have 11 HP. HP 11. Light armor. Did I actually give them to the gladiator? Gladiator. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down just a few, and just so so overall, I'm going to have an archer, wild walker, naturalist, Cossack. I'm gonna put a sniper in there too, just to kind of mess with people. So that's 5 there. Now for the rogue, we're going to put a rogue in there, pretty obvious. We're going to put a highwayman, a bandit, a marauder, a brute, and a cavalier. So actually, we're just going to give them 5 from each. So we're going to take the brute out. So it's just going to be these 5. 5 from each. I think that's fair. So we're going to put a holy soldier in. Let's put a broken one in. We'll put a monk in, a priest, as well as an apostle. We're going to put a neophyte in, a scholar, a spell fencer, burst caster, as well as an illusionary mage. And the warlord, obviously we put the gladiator in. We're going to put an aspirant, the berserker, mercenary, and a raider. Yeah, there we go. So oh, didn't mean to blow everything up, but I guess here we are. So light armor, and now we need a good old-fashioned basic hand weapon. I think I went too far. Hand weapons. spear 1d8 plus 3 damage, long distance. And aspirant. And with tier 3 health, that means you have HP of 14, medium armor. This is kind of interesting because they don't actually have any. So they don't actually have any. They can't actually use great weapons, but they can. They can definitely use a bastard sword. They primarily use it 1d10 plus 4 damage. Switch d8. Switch d8. And we'll give them the ability Glory Hound. The aspirant adds +2 to their first attack on a new opponent. Bazaka. And HP 11. I'm just going to give this guy a battle axe anyway because it's a berserker. Come on. 1d12 plus 5 damage. Actually, I'm not going to give him that. He's just going to get an axe because he already does plus 5 damage with Pierce 1. Like, this guy's actually kind of spook because he can do a max of 13 damage in one hit. And if you aren't wearing a lot of armor, like you can suddenly be on your ass pretty fast. Because even wearing armor, he's going to go past one of it immediately. But he does have the berserk ability. Berserker is a frothing lunatic hell bent on killing you. They gain a plus 1d6 to their attacks. Actually, he's not going to wear no armor because he's a berserker. We'll give him frothing berserker. 21, plus 1d6. Damn. They gain a plus 1d6 to their attack. To hit a captain. Again, these aren't supposed to be like one. I'm going kind of 1-for-1 on them, but that's not kind of the point of these. This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be like, hey, here's some sample enemies. Go nuts, have fun. For 4, that means you have HP 17, medium armor. Just basic hand weapons. I have to give you guys something else. You're mercenaries, for God's sakes. You know what this calls for? Let's open up a new tab with the exact same book in it. My computer dies slightly because I've been working on I've been streaming for that long. I've been streaming for about 2 hours now. Captain classes. So we want to go to the warlord troops, aspirant, martial hand weapons. Okay, they can use great martial weapons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a battle axe. It deals 1d12 plus 5 and has pierce 2, and is also two-handed. That doesn't answer my question about the mercenaries. Mercenaries. Medium armor, martial hand weapons, basic range weapons, medium shields. Okay. Where's the medium shields? There we go. They're not going to get anything special because they just have a lot of tools to fuck you over with. And they're obviously going to have a nice martial weapon. They're going to have swords. You know, actually, since they're going to be they're actually going to get a halberd, which is going to be 1d12 plus 4 damage. And it has long distance. It has long distance, unwieldy. And they're also going to get a ranged weapon on top of that, which they're going to get a light crossbow. 1d6 plus 4 damage. Reload 1, ammunition. Pierce 1. Can't forget Pierce 1. Actually, they don't even have to reload. Pierce 1. Ammunition. So yeah, no, mercenaries are kind of scary because they just have a lot of tools to work against you. And they negate 5 damage every time you hit them with anything that's not lethal. So they don't have like a lot of health, but they're annoying to fight. That's kind of their thing. And now we're going to go to Raiders. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders. Yeah, martial hand weapons, martial range weapons, cavalry. Okay. And that means they have HP 14. Light armor. And a good martial weapon for raiding bastards who want to kill us all. We'll give them axes. Max 1d8 plus 4 damage, pierce 1. And they're also going to have a longbow. (1d8 plus 5 damage, ammunition, two-handed, and they're also going to be, and I'm not actually going to put cavalry in there. And we don't really need to add anything here. These raiders are, well, raiders, and they're fast and kill you and make fun of you and poo on your corpse. Alright, so, oh god, I have 20 of these things to fucking do now. Alright, let's kick some ass, everyone. Let's do it. Yeah. We are the greatest. I've been streaming for 2 hours, and it's a little after midnight. Fuck. bolts, 8. Let's aim. With an OC at 2 check. Dealing 1d10. We'll do 1d10 plus 2 damage on a success. That reminds me, I should actually put wands in, shouldn't I? Yeah, I think I should put wands in for... That's kind of just a reminder to myself. Actually, I'll put this in my handy-dandy notes section. Wands for captains. So, let's see, we got the neophyte done. Skewer. D6 damage. Actually, I should put Nora armor. One D6, yeah, 1d6 damage. 1d6 plus 3 damage. Rain, magical, elemental, elemental wand. Actually, I'm just gonna do an energy wand. Energy wand. 1d6 plus 4 damage. And 2 toughness means you have 11 HP, 11 HP, light armor, one d6 plus 2 damage, graceful. Energy wand, 1d6 plus 4 damage, magical. Enchanted weapon. Spell of Fencer's Rapier deals magical damage. I think I'm only going to add... I'm going to add these two and just... Ugh, I should add them all. I said I was going to add them all. I'm going to add them all. So I'm going to take out the caster tier 3. And now we're going to have to work with burst caster. D6 plus 1 damage. Advanced wand. Advanced energy wand. 1d6 plus 6 damage. Magic Missile. The Bird's Caster shoots out a plethora of small magical missiles at rolling a 1d6 to determine how. Actually, rolling a 2d6 to determine how many. Let me see. Each missile deals one. Each missile deals 2 damage. 2 magical damage. 2 magical damage to the target. On a successful ATUOC opposed check, a character can have half the damage. There we go. That's kind of the burst casters thing, is that they burst you down and eat you. Oh, illusionary mage. Illusionary man. The illusionist shoots out. Creates a variety of copies of themselves to assist them in copies of themselves. A character has, when being attacked, there is a what? When being attacked, the character, the attacker, rolls a 1d6, creates 5 copies of themselves. 5 copies of themselves while being attacked, rolls a 1d6. On a 1, they strike. They strike the correct target. If they do not hit the target, well, an illusion is destroyed. If they do not hit one illusion is destroyed. And the next roll is 1 or 2 on the d6, etc. So these guys only have 5 HP, but they have a staff that has 1d6 damage, and they also have no armor. And they are going to have an advanced energy wand, which is 1d6 plus 8 damage, magical. These guys are annoying as fuck because they will rip you a new asshole, and it's hard to hit them because they can just make copies of themselves endlessly, and you're pretty much gambling with whether or not you're attacking them. 15 more to go. Jesus. Okay, let's do this. Ranger. All right. Archer. 8 HP. Dagger. 1d6 plus 1 damage. Short bow. 1d6 plus 4 damage. 1d6 plus 4 damage. Two-handed. Where's my axe? Where's my axe? Wild walk. The wild walkers can move an additional 10 feet. 10 feet for their 10 feet. Actually, move additional 1 SD. 10 feet. 10 feet for. Welcome to the wonderful world of being beat up by the wild walkers. As they just run away from you endlessly and pop you with longbows and rip you a new asshole. We just want to double check here just to make sure I got my longbow correct. 1d8, yep. And then we got the naturalist. And you actually have 14 HP, if I remember correctly. No, you only have 11. 11 HP. No armor. You're going to actually have a club. That's a 1d6 plus 2 damage. Stun 1. Your ranged weapon is going to be a slung. Just going to do 1d6 plus 4 damage. Druidic chance. All of the naturalist's allies gain a +1 to toughen. Well, then. Nature's grasp. The naturalist can escape being engaged in melee for free once a combat. Actually, yeah, for free. So pretty much your goal with the kind of the ranger units is to keep them occupied and keep them kind of under wraps. And the naturalist's kind of thing is that he's moving around, he's slinging you around, but he's not actually that tough. He doesn't actually have that many abilities in the vein of being that he's just a slippery bastard and he's hard to deal with that way. Actually, what I should say, Nature's Wrath. 1d8 plus 3 damage if they character in a ATUOC. Yep, they just shoot you with stuff. That's their new thing. Cossack. You have 14 HP. Give me medium armor. Medium armor. Where's my medium armor? Where's my medium armor? They have a saber. It's 1d2, 1d6 plus 2 damage, and dual wield. They also have a. Where is it? They also have a sword. 1d8 plus 2 damage. That's their main. They hit you with the sword, they hit you with their saber. They also have a. Crossbow 2d8 plus 5 damage, reload 2, pierce 2, ammunition. Yeah, Cossacks are kind of a pain in the ass to fight in melee or just at range. They're just not fun to fight at all. But that's the point. Snoopy. 11 HP. D6 plus 6 damage. Two-handed ammunition. Sniper's range attack deals plus 2 plus 1d6 extra damage. There we go. This is fair. That means Cossack and the Sniper are done. That means we only have to work with the Rogue. plus damage, and they also have a... D10 plus 5 damage. Reload 1, pierce 1, ammunition. Sorry I'm not speaking too much. I'm just focusing at this point. That and the fatigue's getting to me. Anyway, I gotta last till the early morning hours. So I gotta reset myself, unfortunately. That just takes time. Shank and gank. Shank. And then we have a brigand. No, I didn't even bring in the marauder. We'll do the cavalier first. You actually have pretty high toughness at 17 HP. Medium armor. Actually, we'll mix it up a little bit. We'll give him something different. We'll give him a... Yeah, we'll give him a bastard sword. Cavalier Pride. There we go. Cavalier does an extra +2 damage. Why? Because he's Cavalier about the whole thing. Let me see. We have just a marauder left. Marauder. And that's 11 HP. Medium armor, and you can actually use great weapons. So we're gonna go extra aids, 1d10. You're going to have a warhammer. 1d10 plus 5, stun 2, two-handed. And then you're actually going to get a javelin. Javelin times 3, 1d6 plus 4. Yeah, 1d6 plus 4 damage because it goes up like that. Ruthless Assault. Marauder attacks a character who is stunned. They deal an extra plus 1d6 of damage. And with that side's done. Now we just have to do the bishop. And we'll start the monk. Staff, 1d6 plus 1 damage. Again, monk's not too scary. Get into this territory, 20 HP. Gains a plus 2, 2. And you also are going to get a medium shield. Blocking ones. 17 HP, light armor. Two d6 plus 6 damage, two-handed. Refusal to die. Right around. So pretty much if you can't kill them right away, they're just going to endlessly heal themselves because they just refuse to fucking die. We actually aren't the music actually ended, so let's shift over to some new tunes. I don't care, H&R Block. Go away, please. I don't care about you. There we go. Listen to some Hawaiian music. plus 5. Let's throw a 2 in it. Slap the War Priest in there instead. 20 HP. One D10 plus 5 damage. Stun 2. Hatred of heretics. Yep, there we go. And that's everyone. Perfect. So we're just going to copy and paste everything here. This goes to the bottom. Missile. I could probably put these in alphabetical order, but nah, screw it. I don't feel like it. Come on. After this, I'll probably call it a night. We still have some stuff to do, like adding in some more fantastic stuff, but we can worry about that another time. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not, depending on how this night goes. Righteous Fury, Holy Soldiers, Broken One. Oh god, there's so many. Priest. War Priest. Okay. And then after this, we have to put in opposing squads. Opposing squads and captains. Actually, opposing captains and squads. And we're going to make that a heading 2. That's kind of a side note for myself. I'm going to put just a few notes here. So it's going to be a side note, making your own enemy, making your own foes. Side note, making your foes fantastic. And the final side. And this final side note, captains and you. Tariff. No. Okay, yeah, I gotta remember to put those two side notes in. But thank you all for watching. This has been a fairly long stream, as I said it would be. About 2.5 hours of me going through things. But I hope you all had fun and watched this. If you did, cool. If you did, also cool. You. Alright. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day.